If you're a man over 40 who lifts, you've probably wondered whether creatine is still worth taking, or whether it's something you leave behind with your 20s. Maybe you've heard it's bad for your kidneys. Maybe you tried it years ago and weren't sure if it did anything. Or maybe you're just starting to take your training and nutrition more seriously and want to know if this is actually worth your money. In this video, I'm going to give you a straight answer based on the current science. No hype, no supplement industry bias. By the end, you'll know exactly whether creatine is right for you after 40, how to take it correctly, and what to realistically expect. First, let's cover the basics quickly. Creatine is not a steroid, not a hormone, and not a stimulant. It's a naturally occurring compound your body already makes, primarily stored in your muscles and used to rapidly regenerate ATP, which is your muscle's immediate energy currency during high-intensity effort. Your body produces around 1 to 2 grams of creatine per day naturally, and you get small amounts from red meat and fish. Supplementing with creatine monohydrate simply tops up those stores beyond what diet and natural production can provide, allowing your muscles to work harder, recover faster, and adapt more effectively to training. This is not a new or experimental supplement. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most studied sports nutrition compounds in existence, with hundreds of randomized controlled trials conducted over more than 30 years. So the real question, does it still work once you're over 40? The short answer is yes, and the evidence suggests it may actually matter more after 40 than it did in your 20s. Here's why. From around the age of 35, men begin losing muscle mass at a rate of roughly 1 to 2% per year, a process called sarcopenia. This accelerates after 40 and is one of the primary drivers of the physical decline most men associate with aging: loss of strength, slower metabolism, reduced energy. The question isn't just whether creatine builds muscle, it's whether it can help slow or reverse this natural decline. A 2024 systematic review and meta-analysis published in Nutrients examined 23 studies involving male participants and found that creatine supplementation combined with resistance training significantly increased both upper body and lower body strength, with upper body strength improving by an average of 4.43 kilograms and lower body strength by 11.35 kilograms compared to placebo. A separate 2024 meta-analysis specifically looking at older adults found that creatine combined with exercise training significantly improved 1-rep max performance, the gold standard measure of strength gains. Beyond muscle and strength, emerging research is also pointing toward cognitive benefits, with some studies suggesting creatine supplementation supports brain energy metabolism, which becomes increasingly relevant as men age. This is an area to watch, though the evidence here is still developing. Now let's address the two things that stop most men over 40 from taking creatine. Myth 1: creatine damages your kidneys. This is the most persistent myth in sports nutrition, and the evidence simply does not support it in healthy individuals. A 2025 systematic review and meta-analysis examining 21 studies on creatine and kidney function found that while creatine supplementation does cause a small increase in serum creatinine, a marker commonly used to assess kidney health, this increase does not reflect actual kidney damage. It's a metabolic byproduct of creatine use, not a sign of organ stress. Glomerular filtration rate, the more meaningful measure of actual kidney function, was not negatively affected. The International Society of Sports Nutrition has formally stated that no study of creatine use in healthy individuals has provided evidence of harm to the kidneys. The key caveat is healthy individuals. If you have a pre-existing kidney condition, speak to your doctor before supplementing. Myth 2. The initial weight gain means you're getting fat. In the first 1 to 2 weeks of creatine supplementation, most people gain 1 to 2 kilograms on the scale. This is not fat. It's water being drawn into your muscle cells, which is actually part of how creatine works. That intracellular water increases muscle cell volume, which supports protein synthesis and training performance. Your body composition is not getting worse. Your muscles are getting fuller. So, if you decide to start, here's exactly how to take it correctly. Which form? Creatine monohydrate. Not creatine HCl, not buffered creatine, not any of the expensive patented forms. The research was done overwhelmingly on monohydrate. It is the most studied, most cost-effective, and most proven form. A 1 kilogram bag of creatine monohydrate typically costs around 15 to 20 euros and lasts 6 months. Anything fancier is a marketing exercise. Dose: 3 to 5 grams per day. That's it. You do not need to do a loading phase, taking 20 grams a day for a week. Loading saturates your muscle stores faster, but taking 3 to 5 grams daily reaches the same saturation point within 3 to 4 weeks. For men over 40, starting with 3 grams and building to 5 is a sensible approach. Timing. Honestly, timing matters less than consistency. Taking it post-workout with a meal appears marginally better in some studies, but the most important thing is simply taking it every day. Don't overthink it. Put it in your morning coffee, your post-workout shake, or a glass of water with breakfast. Same time, every day. Hydration. Creatine draws water into your muscles, so make sure you're drinking enough water. Aim for at least 2 liters per day while supplementing. This isn't complicated, just be consistent. So, does creatine work after 40? Based on the evidence, yes. It's one of the most consistently supported supplements for preserving and building muscle strength. It's safe for healthy individuals, and at 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate per day, it costs less than €1 a week. For men over 40 who are training seriously and trying to hold onto or rebuild muscle mass, creatine is one of the very few supplements that genuinely earns its place on the shelf. If you want to try it, I'll link the specific creatine monohydrate I'd recommend in the description below. Straightforward, unflavored, no unnecessary additives. If you found this useful, subscribe to Fuel After 40. Every week, I cut through the noise on nutrition and supplementation for men over 40. No bro science, no supplement industry hype, just what the evidence actually supports. Next week, I'm covering the truth about intermittent fasting for men over 40, whether the benefits are real and whether the timing actually matters for your hormones. See you there.